Welcome to the next iteration of Warhammer Quest, the cursed city of Ulfenkarn. Ulfenkarn. That's what it says here. How's it going, everyone? Welcome to this video, and today we're taking a look at what's in the box of the new Warhammer Quest game, Cursed City. Games Workshop was very kind and sent me this box as a promotional item for me to show you today. This one is a very exciting release that many people in my game group can't wait to get their hands on. The miniatures look stunning, and because I'm a fan of the Warhammer Quest series, I can't wait to put it together and play. This game goes out to pre-order this Saturday, April 3rd, and I don't know if it will already be sold out, but this one's not a limited time release. If you couldn't get yours, you will probably be able to order it shortly after it's released next week. Cursed City is the next iteration of Warhammer Quest, which is a dungeon crawling board game placed in the Warhammer Age of Sigmar world. In short, this one is a vampire hunting party of heroes that fight to defeat a vampire lord, Radukar the Wolf. Each Warhammer Quest has its own gimmick, and this one is a race against time as the undead monsters you'll face grow in power as the sun sets. Because of our lockdown situation, my girlfriend and I have been looking for entertaining board games to play together, and what better way to introduce her to this hobby than a Warhammer themed board game. It's perfect. But let's get on with it, come with me, let's crack open this box and see what's inside. So here it is. This is the box of the new game for Warhammer Quest Cursed City. And I want to look at the back. Well, let's just take a moment to appreciate the artwork. This one's very pencil drawn, monochromatic, red and white. Very nice, very cool. We're gonna look at the back, and this straight on reminds me of the Blackstone Fortress game. Pretty much the same layout. It doesn't have any terrain. It looks like a ton of miniatures. It contains 60 miniatures if I'm not mistaken. If we look at what it says here, at the heart of Shish, the ancient city of Ulfenkarn stands upon the precipice of doom. The cruel vampire lord Radukar the Wolf has transformed this once proud city into nothing more than a feasting table for him and his coterie of malicious servants. And as you can see here, we have 8 heroes, and we have a bunch of enemy models which are undead, and we have a cardboard, floor tiles, we have tokens, we have cards, we have dice of different shapes, and we're gonna look at everything right as I open this box. There it goes. So I can see we have a unique sprue of monsters. This is probably the larger and unique stuff, and 2 sprues that are repeats as the minions and other things like that. Then we have the vampire lord in this little sprue here. Then we have 2 bone colored sprues that contain our heroes because they're a different color. This is good because when playing the game, not everything's going to be the same color. You can just build them, put them together and start playing, and it's going to be a little bit easier to distinguish between hero models and monster models before you even paint. We have a Cursed City rulebook. We have the instructions for assembly. We have a War Scroll book if you're planning to use these models on Age of Sigmar. We also have the Cursed City Quest book, which is the book that comes with all of the lore and all of the backstory of this conflict. And it has a bunch of lore and a bunch of description of characters and stuff. If this is anything like Silver Tower or Blackstone Fortress, it has the rules for each adventure, and it has the maps, and it prompts you to read some flavored text whenever it's necessary, and it tells you where the monsters are, and it tells you a bunch of stuff. Just to give you a little brief introduction, I wanted to read a little bit of this to you. The introduction says, in the decaying city of Ulfenkarn, a group of heroes band together to cast down the undead tyrant Radukar the Wolf. This epic adventure is the Ulfenkarn in Peril quest, the first quest in the story of the Cursed City. During this quest, the players control a band of heroes as they embark on journeys into the city from their base of operation, a Caradron sky vessel called the Adamant. Their ultimate aim is to destroy Radukar, but attacking the Vampire King at the zenith of his power is a death sentence. So they must first destabilize his tyrannical rule. Each journey they make into Ulfenkarn has its own objective, whether this is to give hope to the beleaguered populace, weaken the wolves' hold on the city, or discover resources amongst the ruins to improve the hero's chances in the battle to follow. Every journey is a race against time. When night falls, anyone left in the city streets will face the full fury of Radukar's undead servants, empowered by the potent magic of the Shish Nadir. To survive, the heroes must complete their journeys swiftly and call for the Adamant to retrieve them before nightfall. As the heroes grow in experience, they will gain powerful traits and items, but the threats they face in the city will also escalate. If they are to defeat Radukar, the heroes will have to learn the secret by which the Wolf King and his lieutenants are resurrected whenever they are destroyed. Armed with this knowledge, they can strike to permanently eliminate each of Radukar's dark champions, giving them a chance to face down the wolf himself. So that is a pretty great introduction to the game, and I hope that summarizes a little bit and gets you a little bit excited about this game. From now on, I'm just going to look at what we have inside the box. We have this little envelope. It says do not open until the final assault decapitation journey has been completed. We have a promotional flyer of the Cursed City novel, and we have all kinds of dice. These dice are for taking actions, for defending yourself, for inflicting damage, and to determine what the action of the enemies will be. We have a bunch of bases, a bunch of size of bases, and one stranded up here. A bunch of cards. We have a bunch of cards that determine the abilities and the actions the enemies will do depending on their turn. You roll a die and you see what they're going to do that turn. You can also see their profiles, you can see their actions and how many dice they roll, and you have a card for each enemy. In Silver Tower, all of the enemies were in a book, so this is great because you can have them on hand without flipping pages. And these are the hero cards. Whenever you take an action, you roll your dice and you put them on these spots here. Depending on the number, you get an ability. If you want to take an action, the action tells you how much you need on that dice roll so that you can perform that action. If you roll very low, you won't be able to perform those actions that are a little bit more powerful. And you have unique abilities down here that also cost a point value on the dice you have on your action roll. Okay, so these are initiative cards. I think they represent the monsters and the hero. We have a deck of discovery cards, which I think they might be treasures and stuff like that. We have trade cards, and there are 8, probably 1 for each character. We have Mortis cards, exploration cards, encounter cards, and empowerment cards. Right now, I don't know how they work, to be honest. And we have a big pack of tokens. This is the dial that signifies whenever the night will come. And here you put your destiny dice. This is a mechanic that I know from Silver Tower, where you roll a certain number of dice, and you place them here. And the champions can take from those dice to perform actions as well. They are shared, and you have to be careful not to spend them too quickly or save them for important stuff. So these are the tiles. They have a little bit of gloss finish. It shines a little bit, which could interfere with lights and look a little bit weird, but at the same time it would protect it a little bit more against staining and wet and greasy fingers. You can wipe it up a little bit easier. So give or take, if you like them, if you don't like them. I really couldn't say, but I like the matte finish from the Kill Team mats that are cardboard as well. I think I would have preferred matte, but I don't know. I haven't tried them yet. The artwork looks awesome. It looks very nice and colorful and very detailed. These are the squares where your models can move one at a time. There's a bunch of them. I'm going to cycle through them, and they're double-sided. And they're already tearing apart. We also got some Ziploc bags to put our tokens, and that's going to be it. The next thing I want to purchase is maybe a foam a foam insert to save the miniatures inside the box or somewhere else, because I really want to protect these models. Now that we looked at what's in the box, I'm going to just take a look at the models so that you can see the detail and how they come together. And that'll be it for this video. So we have the sprue, and you can see the amount of detail looks very, very nice. You can see the chainmail. If you can see the chainmail on this model, it looks very nice. I don't know if it's the lighter color of plastic or what, but it looks very detailed, very clean, very cool. I'm scared to mess the detail up in painting, but I'm going to take my time and paint one at a time, because the models by themselves, I think they'll look very nice once put together. Of course, these are monopose snap fit, and probably they are easy to build, which is they don't require actually to use glue, because you can see it has a bunch of pegs and holes so that you can just snap them together. Here we have another hero sprue, and you can see the detail here on the bow, on the elf archer. You can see it here. And the priest, I like that model very much. It's here, and it has some details up here. They come in very intricate little pieces, and they look very detailed. And seriously, if you're a fan of Age of Sigmar or Warhammer in general, I really like how these miniatures look. They don't really need to be painted, I think, to look great in a table. The colored plastic looks very nice, and I think you'll have fun putting them together and starting to play, even if you don't like painting. I like painting very much. I don't know if I can paint this set completely because I have a lot of stuff to do, and if you want to see me paint any of them, please let me know. Here we have the Wolf Lord himself. You can see his body, his pelt. The face is right here. And if you can see, this is magnificent work by the sculptors of Games Workshop. I mean, they're getting better and better at producing these miniatures. I remember when detail like hair, like fur in here, used to be kind of rounded and a little bit difficult to reproduce and to paint. I don't know what happened now that the detail starts getting ever so more intricate and very nice to look at. I think if you put a dry brush on this, it's going to take it very nicely and it's gonna look very good. You can see another model here. The detail is amazing, and I think you should get your copy as soon as possible. The models that most excite me, I think, are the skeletons. You can see one here. You can see one here. Here are some rats. Here are more skeleton models. And as I saw on some of the pictures, I think you can swap parts between the models, because you have twice the same sprue, but you can switch around some pieces so that all the models look a little bit different. So that, I think that's great. Here we have one of the zombies, some of the bats, and a bunch of minion enemies that you will encounter in the game. They look very nice. They look very fun to paint, especially the skeletons. Should you get this box? Absolutely. If anything, for the quality of the miniatures, and if you want to collect some undead, this is the right choice. And I haven't played it because I just got it today. If it's anything like Silver Tower or Blackstone Fortress, it's going to be a great game that you can play a lot with your friends, and you can choose different paths. So the missions are going to be different. You can choose different heroes so that you can play it in different play styles. And as well, look forward to expansions that are going to come in the future for this game, since Blackstone Fortress had so many. And also Silver Tower, I think it had a few. But don't be surprised if we get more expansion sets for this game in the future. That's all for this video. Thank you very much for watching. I hope I got you excited about this new board game. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, comment, and subscribe to the channel to see more videos in the future. Thank you very much for watching. I hope to see you in the next video.